Last time I covered the first part of the first commandment. This second part says, "You shall have no other gods before me." Many of us think of gods as being carvings or statues or other symbols that are worshipped in many religions. I remember when I was deep into New Age thinking, I went into town here in Montreal to the Sai Baba Center, and there was a statue that people were bowing down and worshiping. And I remember, even though I didn't really know the commandments very well then, I remember thinking, how can anybody believe that this statue can be a god or you can bow down to them? And I'm grateful that something just stopped me from doing that. Now I know better studying the Torah, and I wonder how anyone can believe that these statues have powers. I was never a superstitious person, but I did experience some very strange things within the New Age. I saw spiritual powers that manifested themselves in very strange ways. And they manifested themselves in the physical, just like the first 3 wonders or plagues. When Moses went before Pharaoh, we saw the snake, the rod being turned into a snake. And then his magicians were able to turn their rods into a snake. There is power, even if it's not coming from God. I can't explain it. But there are other gods that are obvious, like the cows that you see walking in the streets of India, where children are starving, but they cannot touch the cow because the cow is venerated as a god. And yet these poor children are starving to death. And they say, well, that's a child's karma. No, I believe our gods in the West are even more insidious than these. The gods that our Creator told us not to bow down to consist of anything that takes our focus away from Him, ones in which we put our trust. Our government, our educational system, our financial system, our health system, any system on this planet can have a hold on us. That's not always a bad thing, as long as we stay within the boundaries that the Creator set down for us. When our government tells us that our children at the age of 7 can choose whether or not they want to be a male or a female, then we have to question. We have to go back to the Word of God. What does He say? If we are told anything that goes against His Word, it's wrong, and we must not follow it. It has to be compared with the truth of the Torah. So to whom do we bow down in this life? Who or what has power over us? And what, if anything, can we do about it? We find ourselves in a system today that is becoming increasingly repressive. If we simply sit back and allow things to unfold as we did in Egypt, we will see the same story repeated, and we will have to suffer the consequences. We allowed ourselves then to be slowly lulled into captivity, like a frog that's placed in cold water and slowly brought to a boil. It will not jump out. Those of us who see the same scenario reoccurring today, we may ask ourselves, what can we do? We are so few. How can we possibly make an impact or change anything that's coming? Well, Noah did. Moshe did. Yeshua did. Oh, yeah, but look at them. They're much bigger than we are. Well, Tamar did, when she went in and put a spike through Sisera's head. Not that I'm asking you to do that. But I believe that each of us has been allotted a very small part within our own circles of influence. And as I said previously, the larger picture belongs to God. It's in His hands. He made a promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He promised time and time again to protect His own. That's you and me. So what is our job? To not follow man-made gods. They can be money or wealth. Education can be a god when we think that no one will listen to us if we're not educated enough. Even though there are those who seek the fountain of youth, where vanity becomes a god, where they can never look good enough or have enough clothes or whatever it takes to fill that void within. Even illness can become a god, wielded like a weapon to control others through sympathy, or to back away from responsibility, or just basically out of sheer fear. I remember back in 2001, I had lost a very lucrative position in the financial industry. My boss closed his practice and I was out of work. But I thought, no problem. Well, within a month, 9/11 happened and everything was shut down. There were no jobs. Months and months went by and I couldn't find another position. And then finally my unemployment insurance ran out and I started to fear. How would I support myself? What would I do? I woke up one morning with a horrendous lower back pain. I literally could not move. After 3 days, I finally, because I understand about the unconscious mind, I lay down on my bed and I looked at this pain and I said, what's going on? What does my back represent? And like a light, eureka went on. The back supports the entire body. And I was afraid how I was going to support myself. So I said, oh God, forgive me. You are my support. You are my protector. You are my shield. You are my strength. Well, I woke up the next morning and my back pain was gone. And within a month, Rabbi Percy had asked me to come and work for him as his administrative assistant. He's so good. So what do we focus on? To whom do we place our focus? Trust? Who? What do we trust? And finally, choice, free will. We have been gifted with all these abilities to focus, to trust, and to choose. Let's ask God to reveal to us what gods have a hold upon us and ask Him to release us and then be willing to choose to stop following them, whatever form they take. Yeshua said, you shall know the truth, which means God, and the truth shall make you free. Thank you for listening once again. If you like our videos, please subscribe. Remember, you can forward them to other people, and remember to support our work and listen to some of the other wonderful teachings that you'll find here. God bless you and have a wonderful day.